As the country marks the 11th anniversary after promulgation of the 2010 Constitution, certain constitutional clauses are yet to be enacted and/or operationalized. In September last year, Chief Justice Emeritus David Maraga advised President Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve Parliament in accordance with Article 261 of the Constitution for failure to operationalize the two-thirds gender rule. However, High Court Judge Weldon Korir suspended the implementation of the advisory pending the hearing and determination of a petition filed by 2 Kenyans challenging the advisory. Enactment of affirmative action clauses has been a challenge for both the 11th and 12th Parliament. Our senior political affairs reporter Patrick Amimo has more on the pending constitutional issues.
In 2013, the Attorney General sought an advisory opinion from the Supreme Court on how to comply with the not more than two-thirds gender principle. A majority of the court held that realization of the provision was progressive and allowed the government until August 2015 to enact the law. Then Chief Justice Dr. Willy Mutunga rendered a dissenting opinion. Mutunga observed the Constitution required immediate compliance with the two-thirds gender rule.
Join me in ensuring the implementation of the two-thirds gender principle.
The 11th Parliament failed to deliver the law despite 2 attempts and requested for 1 year extension. Subsequently, 3 attempts at the National Assembly and 2 attempts at the Senate flopped in the 12th Parliament.
So when you have the lawmakers themselves deciding let's have a lawless situation or a situation where we don't implement the law, it is dangerous for this country.
Meanwhile, the High Court was twice petitioned to dissolve Parliament over failure to pass laws touching on affirmative action. In September 2020, Chief Justice Emeritus David Maraga advised President Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve Parliament for breaching the 5-year constitutional timeline to enact a law that no more than 2/3 of members of elected public bodies shall be of the same gender. Some of the highlights of Maraga's scathing advisory to President Uhuru Kenyatta stated thus: "Let us endure pain if we must, if only to remind ourselves as a country that choices, and particularly choices on constitutional obligations, have consequences." He added, "Let us endure pain if only to remind the electorate to hold their parliamentary representatives accountable. Let us endure pain if only to remind ourselves that as a country, being a democracy that has chosen to be governed by the rule of law, we must say no to impunity and hold everyone accountable to their actions or omissions." High Court Judge Weldon Korir would 4 days later suspend implementation of Maraga advisory to dissolve Parliament, pending hearing and determination of a petition filed by 2 Kenyans challenging the advisory. Lawmakers breathed a sigh of relief.
We should not be indeed worried about the fact that the 12th Parliament may come to an end.
It is on this backdrop that the failures of the administration of President Uhuru Kenyatta can be highlighted. They do not follow the law.
Though a bench of 5 judges of the High Court was constituted to hear the matter, the Court of Appeal issued orders to stay proceedings. Petitioners have applied to the Court of Appeal to lift the orders and allow the High Court to deliver its ruling. The plea will be heard on 24 September 2021. Parliament is yet to enact a law on Article 100 of the Constitution, despite the 5-year period given by the Constitution and the 1-year extension given by the 11th Parliament having lapsed. The article seeks to promote the representation in Parliament of women, persons with disabilities, youth, ethnic minorities, and other minority and marginalized groups. The National Assembly passed the Representation of Special Interest Groups Laws Amendment Bill 2019 in March 2020 and presented it to the Senate for concurrence. Senators are yet to prioritize the bill.
10 years down the line, with very clear mandate of the National Police Service, that has not been implemented. The other one that has not been implemented fully is the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. We find that most cases, and especially cases on corruption, are still pending. Cases on NYS are still pending.
Where there were commissions that were taking away important functions, they have been very seriously resisted by the National Executive. So that is true for the Police Service Commission, that's true for the National Land Commission. Where politicians are involved, where there is a commission that was oversighting or impacting on the role of politicians, has also been very seriously resisted by Parliament. That is true for the Anti-Corruption Commission, it's true for the IEBC.
Still pending in Parliament is legislation that will ensure communities receive compensation or royalties for the use of their cultures and cultural heritage, and recognize and protect the ownership of indigenous seeds and plant varieties, their genetic and diverse characteristics. Parliament has not enacted the law on National Sovereign Wealth Fund that will manage the country's petroleum and mineral revenues. Despite passing the Election Campaign Financing Act in 2013, the operation of the law was suspended for the 2017 general election. MPs are again opposed to its implementation for the 2022 poll. The Constitution provides for the establishment of the Judiciary Fund to secure the independence of the judiciary. While Article 173 sub-Article 5 requires Parliament to enact legislation to provide for the regulation of the fund has not been operationalized. At the moment, the courts are seized with a pull and push from proponents and opposers of the BBI bill that seeks to amend 74 articles of the Constitution. Patrick Amimo, KTN News.
As Kenyans mark the 11th anniversary